we went ahead and got all the body mounts on, and we're starting to put the floor back in. So if you look right here, you can see these are our new braces. Now I got the body mount mounted to that brace right there so I can line it all up. It's not tight, it's just hand snug. And you can see that I got it marked ready for spot welds, to spot weld these together. But before I do that, what we have here, we got a situation, and let me show you. Remember that metal that I added down there? Well, look at the gap. It doesn't line up at all with our brace. So what I got to do is I got to form that to mold in there so I can actually weld that to the fender. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my cutting torch to heat up that sheet metal that I added to it, and then I'll go ahead and pound it in place to where I want it to be to mold. So here's where the sheet metal is that we added to it, and behind that is that brace that has to be welded to the inner fender well. So I'm looking at it with my finger, and it looks like it's all the way from here all the way over to approximately right here. So we're going to take our cutting torch, and then we'll heat that up, and I'm going to get down here on the ground like this so I can get leverage, and we're going to go ahead and heat that up. And then I'll take my hammer, and then I will mold that piece of metal right here to this brace. So watch real quick, this is going to heat up really fast. And we want to do it where we don't get the bushing. We don't want to get that bushing hot. So we got to stay away from the rubber. And I'm going to come way up here and over here, and we're going to get that red hot. And then once we get that like that, we'll take our ball peen hammer and we'll go ahead and work our way. There we go. Let's get some real heat on it now. Okay, we went ahead and heated that up. Let's go inside and see what it looks like. Okay, well, it looks like, it doesn't look like much, but believe me, when we clamp that together and we spot weld that bracket on there, it's all going to look really nice and form itself to the situation. So what I'll go ahead and do now is I'll go ahead and drill out all of the areas that need to be spot welded, and I'll go ahead and weld those braces in place. Now we got to let those cool down before we can mark that out, but once we mark it out, everything's going to fit and it's going to look good. You're going to see. I'm just glad that I got the body mounts on there and everything's done on that end. That was a big job, people. That was a big, big job. So we just got done putting our last 2 body mounts in and welding all the braces in on the floor. So we can go ahead and put this away. I can't believe we finally got all that done. Woo! That was a big job, people. Big job, but you know what? I did it right. I didn't skim, I didn't shim, I didn't sham, I didn't do anything. I wasn't lazy. I went ahead, busted my ass, and I did it right. Those body shims, I believe they were only $100, maybe less than that, to get this thing back to original. So there you go right there. That's the brand new factory braces. They're in the exact location that the other ones were in. And we will go ahead. I even actually measured, if you look right here, if you look right there, I actually measured exactly and precisely where this piece ended up on this piece right here. So here's our old one right here. Let's go ahead and flip that over and I'll show you. Yeah, so you see, I actually measured from this corner here to right here. It was 1.5 inches on each side, and I put it exactly in the same spot. So if you notice on both sides of the car here, there's a big giant opening where the quarter panels go. Well, that's not all that goes there, okay? There's also a thing called a floor extension panel. And what we're talking about is this right here. We have to take this and put it into the quarter panel section. It goes down here. This is where the quarter panel all meets up. It boxes everything in and it makes it all look proper. We need to put that in before we put the quarter panel or the floor on. So I've already cleaned this area out right in here. If you look right here, this like square box goes up and over and then down, and there's a piece right here. I've already cleaned all that out, and if you even look further, you can see there's a piece hanging off right here. We need to keep that, and I'll show you that later. But here's our floor extension right here, and the way that this fits in is it fits in just like this. Go ahead and line that up, and then this comes over here. I'm going to go ahead and clamp that on there. We're not going to weld it on. We're just basically lining it up, getting it centered where it should go. Once we do that, then we can actually, and I'm going to clamp it right here, just like that. And then this piece right here, I'm going to have to build this from scratch. This is where it's rotted out. This is where the quarter panel would hook onto it, but we're going to build all that from scratch. For right now, we're just going to get it out of the way. And this is good metal right here. We're going to keep that, and then this would actually go right there, just like that. So it's going to line up, and I'm going to show you this. Let me get this all clamped on here. I got to figure out how I'm going to clamp it. Let me get down here on the ground, because we've got to get this clamped on where it fits on here. And then once we get that on, then we can start putting our floor in. So you see there's a gap here. So I'm going to have to loosen this one off. And we'll go ahead and put this one on first, because that's going to go just like that. Actually, I think, okay, let's go ahead and get it on there. It's going to go right there. And I'm thinking this is bowed in. We're going to have to flatten that out. Alright, so this is going to go in here like this, and it's still not right. That looks normal there, so let's clamp this on there, and then we'll see where it takes us over on the other side. Let's get this on first, because this is not lining up. But then on the other hand, this is aftermarket, people, and this is what you deal with when you're working with aftermarket junk. You've got to figure it out as you go. It'd be nice if I had another set of hands out here to help me hold this. So I'm going to take my leg and put that right there so I get this lined up. And then I can clamp this on there like that. And then we can go back there and then we'll clamp this down where it goes. And then we'll see what we're going to have to do. So that actually looks like it lines up a lot better. If we look at it now, you can see it lines up really nice. And so that means that over on this end, we're going to have to pound the extension, the brand new extension to match. So we're going to get that right there where it goes. We're going to clamp that down. And then that one's actually semi-installed. So I was kind of telling you about this little piece of metal. This actually comes down here and then swings around here like this. And the reason we need to keep that is because the quarter panel section that we bought does not have the end on. So we need to salvage this, and that's how that goes right there. And then of course the extension comes in here and then we'll overlap right here. And then when we put our bumper on, you won't see any of that. So we're going to leave that just like that. We're not welding this on yet. Before we do any type of welding whatsoever, we got to put these in. I got to put the other one in on the other side. Then we got to cut and fit the floor in. And I'll go ahead and show you what we're talking about, because we're not replacing this full panel. So that's going to go up there. We'll cut that off up on the top up there. And then over here, we're going to have to measure the floor and cut part of the floor off. We'll have to cut this probably twice to sit it down in there. Let's go ahead and just randomly cut this one with our plasma cutter and see if it'll drop in there where we want it. Like I said, it's going to take several cuts to get it in here properly, but you can kind of see where we're going with it right here. That's going to line up just like that. So I'll go ahead and cut them. I'll fit them all in here. We got to mark everything for spot welds. Once I mark all the spot welds, then what we'll do, we'll come back and start welding all of it in with our spot weld action. That's going to be a lot of welding, people. A lot of welding. And then while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and mark that. Let me go ahead and vice grip that down. I want to get that clamped down where it fits right. Just like that. There we go. And then we can go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this. And it's going to be right there on that one. Okay, look at that. Perfect fit, people. Perfect fit. So what I'll do is I will screw this down. I'm not going to weld it yet. I will screw it all down, and then I'll fit the left and the right panel in after I put the other floor extension in over here. And then we will mark off for all our spot welds and start welding. So we're working on the well, trying to get the floor in, and I got to take these corner braces out. You can probably see this one better to slide the floor in there. It won't slide in around that.
Around the bottom of this?
Yeah, it won't slide in.
That sucks.
So what I got to do is clean this out, but when I was cleaning it out, look what we got. We got rotten rust. Now, let me tell you what this is caused by. This is caused by neglect. All right? Let me find a piece on the ground. Where's that? I guess it's clear, so we can't hear this right here. Okay, this is rubber. Let me show you here. This is rubber. This is silicone. Do you see the difference? Okay, so this is the rubber gasket. Now watch when I tear it off. Look what somebody did. Go ahead and get it up here. It's all rotted here too. So what they did is they took some silicone, and instead of getting on J.C. Whitney's catalog or somewhere somehow and actually just ordering a brand new rubber seal for it, because probably when they did that, you could have bought a rubber seal for this for $7 or $8, a brand new one. They went ahead and decided to glue the old rubber. Look here, come on over here, here we go. They glued, look, you see that?
Yeah.
They glued the old rubber down to the metal with silicone.
Thinking that would keep the water.
Thinking, oh, well, we don't have to put new seals on it. We don't have to do that. All we got to do is buy a $7 tube of 3M silicone, and we'll silicone it up. And then from doing that, this is what it caused right here. All this in here and all this right here is caused because they didn't buy a brand new seal for the same price that they can buy the fucking silicone for. So, I think a lot of this is salvageable. This is the worst section right here. Look at it. Watch this. Watch. Let me show you. Look at this. So both of these corners are rotted.
So you're going to fix those first?
I got to fix those, but I got to get the floor in first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these braces on each side so I can slide the floor in.
Are you going to remove the top and the bottom, or just to the bottom?
I got to remove all of it.
No.
Let me show you what's going on. We can't get the floor in. See here, the brace is in the way and it won't slide up here and slide in there.
Yeah.
All right, so we got work to do. One thing leads into another. You ever heard that song by The Fix? One thing leads into another.
Oh, that used to be one of my favorite songs.
Me too. What was that name of that album? Something Beach. I forgot.
Reach the Beach?
Reach the Beach. Yeah, that was a good album. So here you go. The Fix. Something. One thing leads into another. This is it right here. So I got to figure out where the spot welds are. I'll cut those off. Then I'll come down here. And I think on this, I'm just going to cut it straight across. Finding the spot welds on this is going to be impossible.
You going to buy new ones, I guess?
No. I'm going to reuse these. There's nothing wrong with them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay.